In the misty tech haven of Seattle, where the Space Needle pierced the perpetual gray skies like a futuristic spire overlooking the bustling waterfront, Ethan Cole navigated the fast-paced world of artificial intelligence with the precision of a master coder. At 37 years old, Ethan had poured 7 years into Quantum AI Labs, a mid-tier company headquartered in a gleaming campus near Lake Union, surrounded by houseboats and kayakers braving the choppy waters. The firm specialized in machine learning models for e-commerce personalization, crafting algorithms that predicted consumer behavior for retailers across Washington, California, and Oregon. Their contracts, valued at over $7 million annually, powered recommendation engines for online giants, ensuring seamless shopping experiences in an era dominated by digital commerce. Ethan's role as AI development manager was more than a title. It was the culmination of his relentless drive. When he joined, the department was a tangled web of flawed prototypes overfitting models that crashed during the 2021 e-commerce surge triggered by pandemic shopping habits, and biased algorithms that drew scrutiny, akin to the Google AI ethics controversies. Bugs led to inaccurate recommendations, costing clients millions in lost sales, and regulatory warnings loomed from bodies like the FTC over data privacy lapses. But Ethan revolutionized it all. He implemented advanced neural networks using frameworks like TensorFlow, drawing inspiration from real-world successes such as Netflix's personalization engines, and trained his team through rigorous code reviews. He knew every layer of their proprietary models, could spot biases in datasets weeks before deployment, preventing issues like those in the 2022 facial recognition scandals, and optimized for scalability, achieving a staggering 99.5% accuracy rate that boosted client conversion rates by 25%. His team, a dynamic group of 18 engineers from diverse backgrounds, held him in high regard. Ethan led by immersion, often pulling all-nighters during model training sessions or diving into debugging marathons, like rerouting data pipelines during the 2023 cloud outage waves that disrupted AWS services across the West Coast. Auditors from the company's board in Portland, visiting biannually, hailed his department as pioneering excellence, with metrics that set industry standards. Clients, including major retailers in San Diego and Portland, flooded in testimonials. Ethan's models prevented revenue dips during holiday rushes, avoiding pitfalls like the 2019 Target algorithm failures. His innovations ensured compliance with emerging AI regulations, sidestepping the ethical minefields that felled companies like Meta in privacy lawsuits. Yet, in the cutthroat realm of Silicon Northwest, where startups rose and fell like the tides of Puget Sound, success invited shadows. Nora Klein, a 40-year-old data ethics officer who'd been with Quantum AI for 6 years, embodied that resentment. Competent in reviewing model fairness but personally acerbic, Nora had applied for a vice president role 18 months prior, only to be passed over for a candidate with cutting-edge certifications from institutions like the AI Ethics Board. Since then, her comments in team meetings turned Barb's subtle jabs at bias in promotions and questioning algorithmic decisions with an undercurrent of malice. Ethan had noted her hostility but chalked it up to typical office friction, underestimating its depth. Overseeing the chaos was Victor Lang, Ethan's direct supervisor and the operations VP. At 52, Victor was a wiry man with a perpetual 5 o'clock shadow, always jittery about investor calls from venture capitalists in Silicon Valley. He was the quintessential avoidant leader. Decisions hinged on minimizing short-term risks rather than fostering growth. Victor thrived on appropriating triumphs, parading Ethan's accuracy metrics in pitch decks as his brainchild, while swiftly disavowing flops, often by scapegoating subordinates. His mantra: keep the board happy, no waves. The betrayal struck on a drizzly Wednesday morning in June 2023, as the first hints of summer tried to pierce Seattle's infamous gloom. Ethan was in his corner office, with a view of ferries chugging across the Sound, fine-tuning a new recommendation model that incorporated real-time user feedback to counter biases seen in the 2024 TikTok algorithm debates. His phone buzzed with Victor's summons. Entering the VP's sterile office, lined with motivational posters about disruption and a panoramic view of the Olympic Mountains shrouded in mist, Ethan sensed the tension. Victor's face was ashen, his fingers drumming on a stack of printouts. "Ethan, sit down. We have a problem," Victor said, closing the door with a thud that echoed like a sealed fate. "There are serious accusations about the integrity of your models." Ethan leaned forward, brow furrowed. His work was transparent, every code commit logged in GitHub, audited by third-party firms like Deloitte, and cross-checked against benchmarks from the AI Alliance. "What accusations?" he asked, his voice steady, but a knot tightening in his gut. Victor averted his gaze, shuffling papers. Nora brought this to light yesterday. She claims you've been plagiarizing open-source code to fabricate performance results, inserting unauthorized snippets to inflate accuracy metrics. The allegation landed like a system crash, abrupt and devastating. In 7 years, Ethan had never compromised ethics. His models were original, often shared at conferences like NeurIPS for peer review. That's baseless, Victor. I can run a full code audit right now. Diffs, logs, everything. It's all proprietary and verifiable. Victor raised a hand, his tone laced with false sympathy. I get it's hard, Ethan, but with funding rounds approaching and client renewals at stake, we can't afford doubts about IP integrity. The company must safeguard its reputation. The subtext was clear. This was expediency, not justice. Are you firing me on unsubstantiated rumors? Ethan pressed, his composure cracking slightly. Yes, effective immediately. Security will escort you, HR handles the rest. Ethan didn't rant or plead. He nodded curtly. Understood. Victor seemed almost deflated by the lack of fireworks, as if expecting drama to justify his cowardice. The security walk was humiliating past cubicles where engineers paused mid-code, eyes wide. The guard, a familiar face from late-night security checks during deployment crunches, muttered apologies as Ethan packed, family photos from a Bellevue hike, a mug from a team hackathon at Pike Place Market, and USB drives of personal projects. What's going on? Whispered Riley Tate, his lead engineer, and a brilliant coder who'd risen under his mentorship. Misunderstanding, Ethan said softly. Keep the models clean, you know the protocols. As he left the campus for the last time, the rain pattering on umbrellas outside, Ethan glanced at his team watching from windows. They weren't just staff. They were collaborators who'd trusted his vision through challenges like the 2022 GPU shortages that delayed training. The drive home to Bellevue, past the sprawling Microsoft campus where tech dreams were born, felt ethereal. After years of 80-hour weeks, debugging under deadline pressure, his schedule was void. His partner, Taylor, a digital marketer working from their cozy home office with views of Lake Washington, looked up startled as Ethan arrived midday. Early day? Taylor asked, pausing a Zoom call. Fired, Ethan stated plainly, collapsing onto the couch. Nora's false claims of code theft. Victor didn't investigate. Taylor, who'd seen Ethan's midnight coding sessions cross-referencing every line against open-source licenses, reacted with outrage. That's insane. Your code's impeccable. Plan? Ethan gazed at the rain-streaked window. Let them crash without me. Patience first. The following days were uncharacteristic. He slept in, joined Taylor for walks along the Sammamish River Trail, discussing their shared hikes in the Cascades. But his mind churned. Discreet calls to his network, forged at events like the AI Summit in San Francisco, revealed industry buzz about his exit. Seattle's tech scene was interconnected. Rumors spread via Slack channels and Reddit threads. A standout call came from Sophia Ruiz, engineering director at Nexus AI, Quantum AI's chief rival in Bellevue. Nexus AI had strong hardware but lagged in model accuracy, struggling against Quantum AI's dominance. Ethan, your metrics are legendary, Sophia said 2 weeks later. Lead our AI overhaul 30% raise to $160,000, full team-building authority. Ethan disclosed the firing, sharing code audits and client endorsements from averting biases in the 2023 retail AI wave. Results speak louder, Sophia replied. Start the 15th of July? Deal, Ethan agreed. 1 month post-exit timed for Quantum AI's fractures to show. As he ended the call, a determined smile formed, foreseeing the code that would rewrite his story. As Seattle's fleeting summer sun broke through the clouds, casting a rare golden glow over the bustling streets of Capitol Hill and the shimmering waters of Lake Union, Ethan Cole immersed himself in the strategic rebuilding at Nexus AI. The city thrummed with tech energy developers sipping coffee at indie shops near Amazon spheres, startups pitching at events in Pioneer Square, and the distant hum of ferries carrying commuters across the Sound. For Ethan, ousted from Quantum AI Labs just a month prior, these weeks were a blend of reflection and calculated action. His new role at Nexus AI, starting the 15th of July 2023, offered a fresh canvas. A company with robust hardware infrastructure, state-of-the-art GPUs for model training, but hampered by outdated algorithms that overfit data, leading to poor predictions echoing the 2023 AI hype bubble bursts, where overpromising models failed in real-world retail scenarios. Ethan's first days involved a deep dive audit of Nexus AI's systems. In the open-plan office overlooking the Bellevue skyline, with views of Microsoft's expansive campus across the lake, he uncovered a litany of issues: biased training datasets causing skewed recommendations, inefficient deployment pipelines that mimicked the delays in the 2022 cloud migration fiascos, and a team demoralized by top-down mandates from executives in Portland. The accuracy hovered at a mediocre 82%, costing clients in lost sales and drawing complaints from e-commerce platforms struggling against giants like Shopify's AI tools. But Nexus AI's leadership was visionary. Sophia Ruiz granted him full reign. "Ethan, we're not just competing, we're redefining personalization. Build the team and tech to dominate." This empowerment contrasted sharply with Quantum AI's stifling environment under Victor Lang, where innovation was secondary to avoiding investor scrutiny. Ethan's priority: assembling an elite squad. He knew the talent pool intimately, his former colleagues at Quantum AI, now floundering under Victor's hasty replacement, a novice named Derek Voss, whose background in basic scripting left him ill-equipped for advanced ML. Whispers from industry contacts via LinkedIn, DMs painted a dire picture. Model accuracies dipping to 90%. Clients like a major Oregon retailer voicing frustrations over faulty recommendations during back-to-school sales, and team morale cratering as Derek dismissed ethical concerns, risking biases similar to the 2024 OpenAI content moderation scandals. Ethan's first outreach was to Riley Tate, his former lead engineer, on a sunny Thursday evening in Volunteer Park. Amid picnickers and frisbee games, with the Space Needle silhouetted against the horizon, Ethan called from a bench overlooking the reservoir. "Riley, it's Ethan. How's the ship holding?" Her response was laced with fatigue. "Sinking fast." Derek's ignoring overfitting our latest model bombed a client test, recommending winter coats in July. Victor's blaming external data noise, but clients are furious. Ethan empathized, recalling their shared triumphs like optimizing for the 2021 holiday rush. Nexus AI has an AI architect spot $150,000, 15 grand over your current plus equity and flexible hours for innovation. A pause hung in the air, the distant laughter of park-goers contrasting the gravity. Riley sighed. "I've been job hunting. Nora's ethics reviews are a joke now, and Victor's micromanaging everything." Ethan didn't push. Riley's prowess in neural architecture, honed through years debugging during GPU shortages, made her invaluable. "Consider it a place where your ideas lead," he said. The conversation planted the seed, her interest palpable. Next was Amir Khan, the machine learning specialist who could tune hyperparameters like a maestro, navigating complexities like the 2023 LLM training explosions. They met for coffee at a bustling spot in Fremont, surrounded by quirky sculptures and the aroma of artisanal brews. Amir vented. "Quantum AI's models are unstable without your oversight. Derek's pushing untested deploys." Ethan offered. "ML lead at Nexus AI, $145,000, bonuses for accuracy gains." Amir's eyes lit. His skills had kept biases at bay during sensitive retail personalizations. Lila Chen, the ethics coder ensuring fair algorithms, was contacted via video as she commuted on the light rail from downtown. Her audits had prevented disasters like algorithmic discrimination in hiring tools. "Lila, Nexus AI needs your fairness expertise, $140,000, autonomy on bias checks," she shared. Victor's ignoring red flags. We're one lawsuit away from trouble. Her role was crucial amid growing AI regulations. Jax Rivera, the deployment pro who orchestrated seamless rollouts, met Ethan at a hardware store in Ballard amid the clang of tools. Jax fixed pipelines like clockwork, vital during 2022 outages. "Jax deployment supervisor here, 135 null training budget." Jax grumbled, "Equipment's lagging at Quantum AI. Derek doesn't get CI/CD. The linchpin was Maya Voss, data analyst with an MIT master's, underappreciated despite her predictive genius. Over lunch at a Pike Place market eatery, amid flying fish and fresh produce, Ethan pitched, "Data director, $155,000, strategic input on expansions." Maya asked, "Revenge or real building?" Ethan, "Both. They discarded excellence, we're harnessing it." Her salary at Quantum AI was $120,000 with no path up. Offers weren't jobs, they were futures. 18 to 28% raises, comprehensive perks like mental health days, key in high-stress AI, and a culture fostering creativity, unlike Quantum AI's fear-driven stasis. By late July, as Seattle's festivals like Seafair, filled the air with boat races and hydroplanes, the groundwork solidified. Industry chatter at a Bellevue tech mixer hinted at quantum AI's woes, accuracies at 85%. A San Diego client probing alternatives after biased recommendations. Ethan launched at Nexus AI with vigor, refactoring models using PyTorch for efficiency, cutting training times by 30%. His initial team warmed to his hands-on style, joining late sessions much like at Quantum AI during crunch times like Black Friday deploys. Accuracies climbed to 88% swiftly. Sophia was ecstatic. "You're shifting paradigms." Quantum AI unraveled. Riley resigned first on the 1st of August, seeking growth. Victor's panic meeting, per a texted leak, showed his confusion. Why the exodus? As August progressed, with Seattle's Bumbershoot Festival looming, departures accelerated. Amir on the 5th, Lila on the 8th. The AI community buzzed Quantum AI bled talent, Nexus AI the beneficiary. Evenings with Taylor grounded Ethan. Over dinners in their Bellevue home, lake breeze through windows. Taylor noted, "You're not destroying, you're evolving." Ethan agreed. Mind on the cascade. The seeds were sown, harvest nearing, not with malice, but the inexorable logic of superior code prevailing. As Seattle's autumn winds swept through the city, scattering crimson and gold leaves across the paths of Gasworks Park and stirring ripples on Lake Union, Ethan Cole watched his strategic vision take root at Nexus AI. The city pulsed with a vibrant tech scene. Coders collaborated in co-working spaces near Pike Place Market, startups pitched at meetups in Fremont's quirky cafes, and the distant hum of ferries carried commuters past the glittering skyline of downtown skyscrapers. For Ethan, now 6 weeks into his role at Nexus AI, this season marked a pivotal shift. His team, a carefully curated group of defectors from Quantum AI Labs, was transforming the Bellevue-based company's AI operations into a force to be reckoned with. By September 2023, their recommendation algorithms hit a 96% accuracy rate, a leap from the dismal 82% Ethan inherited, driven by innovations like real-time data preprocessing inspired by Spotify's music recommendation systems and rigorous bias checks that avoided the ethical pitfalls of the 2023 ChatGPT content moderation controversies. Daily stand-ups at Nexus AI's open plan office, with its floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Cascades, buzzed with energy. Ethan led with a blend of technical prowess and camaraderie, sketching neural network architectures on digital whiteboards, while encouraging input from his team. Riley Tate, now AI architect, optimized model training pipelines, slashing compute costs by 25%, using techniques honed during the 2022 GPU shortages. Amir Khan, the ML specialist, fine-tuned hyperparameters to boost personalization for a Seattle e-commerce client, ensuring recommendations aligned with user demographics without the biases that plagued early AI retail tools. Lila Chen's ethics protocols, informed by the 2024 AI regulatory frameworks, kept Nexus AI compliant, while Jax Rivera's deployment strategies ensured seamless rollouts, avoiding the outages that crippled competitors during the 2021 AWS disruptions. Maya Voss, the data analyst, forecasted demand spikes for holiday shopping, drawing on trends from the 2023 Black Friday analytics surge, allowing Nexus AI to preposition resources for major clients. The results were immediate. A San Diego retailer, impressed by a flawless deployment that boosted their conversion rates by 15%, sent a glowing email, "Nexus AI's precision is unmatched." Another client, a Portland-based fashion platform, praised the absence of recommendation errors that had cost them sales during peak seasons. Sophia Ruiz, Nexus AI's engineering director, visited from Portland, her eyes alight as she reviewed metrics in a conference room overlooking Lake Washington. "Ethan, you've pushed us to a 96% accuracy in 2 months," she said. "We're stealing market share." A $3 million contract from an Oregon chain just came through Quantum AI's loss. The contract, poached after Quantum AI's algorithm misfired, recommending irrelevant products during a back-to-school campaign, marked Nexus AI's first major coup. Quantum AI, meanwhile, was fracturing under the weight of its own mismanagement. The staggered resignations Ethan orchestrated had gutted their core team. Lila Chen's exit on the 8th of September, citing career advancement, followed Riley and Amir, leaving gaping holes in expertise. Jax Rivera resigned on the 12th of September, his departure crippling deployment pipelines. A major client reported a 48-hour outage due to botched rollouts, echoing the 2022 crypto exchange crashes where technical failures eroded trust. Maya Voss, the final domino, left on the 15th of September, her resignation letter professional but pointed, seeking a culture that values data integrity. Victor Lang, Quantum AI's beleaguered VP, called a frantic all-hands meeting, per a leaked Slack message shared with Ethan by a remaining ally. "Why are we bleeding talent?" Victor reportedly demanded, his voice cracking over Zoom. The answer was evident to insiders. They weren't abandoning the company. They were following a leader who valued competence over politics. The impact was catastrophic. Quantum AI's model accuracy plummeted to 75%, a low not seen since the 2019 retail AI flops that tanked smaller startups. A major California client placed their $2.5 million contract on probation after a model recommended winter gear to summer shoppers, costing thousands in lost sales. Derek Voss, Victor's ill-chosen replacement for Ethan, was overwhelmed, his lack of deep learning expertise exposed when he failed to debug a neural network crash during a critical demo. He resigned after 8 weeks, his exit email blasting inadequate support and impossible expectations, reminiscent of the burnout-driven exits during the 2021 tech hiring frenzy. His replacement, a junior coder named Tara Klein, struggled with basic TensorFlow frameworks, leading to further errors that infuriated clients like a Washington retailer who missed a Labor Day sales window. Industry buzz amplified the chaos at events like the Seattle AI Innovation Summit, held at the sleek Washington State Convention Center. Over cocktails with views of Mount Rainier, competitors whispered, "Quantum AI's imploding Nexus AI's eating their lunch." Ethan, attending to network, overheard a vendor from Portland say, "Clients are jumping ship after Quantum AI's latest blunder." The vendor referenced a glitch that sent irrelevant ads to users, drawing comparisons to the 2023 X platform algorithm missteps that sparked user backlash. Nexus AI's rise was the talk of the summit, with Ethan's name floated as the mastermind behind their turnaround. Nora Klein, whose false accusations of code theft had triggered Ethan's firing, found herself increasingly isolated. Internal reviews, sparked by Quantum AI's mounting failures, uncovered her lapses she'd overlooked critical bias checks, risking violations of new AI ethics laws passed in California. Her credibility eroded as colleagues, once wary of her sharp tongue, now openly questioned her competence in break-room chats, per a contact's text to Ethan. Victor, under pressure from Portland's board, deflected blame in memos, citing market volatility like the 2024 global chip supply disruptions, but insiders saw through it. His failure to investigate Nora's claims had set off a chain reaction, dismantling a once thriving department. Ethan savored the progress from his Bellevue office, where he coded late into the night, the city's lights twinkling across the lake. Evenings with Taylor, his partner, provided balance. Over dinners at their home, with views of sailboats bobbing on Lake Washington, they reflected on the unfolding saga. During a walk along the Burke-Gilman Trail, as cyclists whizzed by and the scent of pine filled the air, Taylor said, "You're not just winning, you're proving a point." Ethan nodded, his mind on the next phase. "It's about showing what happens when you prioritize skill over games." They're feeling it now. Nexus AI's momentum grew with each client win. A $2 million contract from a California e-commerce startup came in late September, poached after Quantum AI's model failed to adapt to regional preferences, costing sales during a fall fashion launch. The client's CTO emailed, "Nexus AI's algorithms are a lifeline." Ethan's team celebrated with a hackathon-style event at the office, coding new features while sharing pizza and brainstorming, a stark contrast to Quantum AI's tense atmosphere. Industry publications like TechCrunch noted Nexus AI's ascent, drawing parallels to how Snowflake rebuilt trust after early data breaches. Quantum AI's descent deepened. By October, 3 more contracts were on probation, totaling $5 million in revenue, with clients citing persistent unreliability. A Seattle retailer, frustrated by a glitchy checkout algorithm, began talks with Nexus AI. Victor's emergency meetings grew desperate, with leaked reports of him offering meager bonuses to stem further defections, but morale was shattered. The parallels to real-world tech failures like the 2022 FTX collapse, where poor systems eroded confidence, were stark, underscoring how leadership lapses could tank even established players. As October's rains drenched the city, Ethan's resolve hardened. Nexus AI's systems were now robust, with clients praising their predictive accuracy and ethical rigor. The cracks in Quantum AI's code were widening, setting the stage for a seismic shift in Seattle's AI landscape, driven not by vengeance, but by the relentless logic of excellence prevailing over mediocrity. As Seattle's winter rains descended, cloaking the city in a silvery mist that blurred the edges of the Space Needle and draped the Puget Sound in a dreamy haze. Ethan Cole's strategic vision at Nexus AI gained unstoppable momentum. The tech hub buzzed with life coders huddled in Capitol Hill cafes, startups unveiled demos at Fremont's tech incubators, and holiday lights twinkled along Pike Place Market, where vendors hawked steaming cider amid the scent of fresh fish. By November 2023, Nexus AI's recommendation algorithms achieved a 97% accuracy rate, a feat that drew comparisons to Amazon's precision during the 2023 holiday shopping surge. Ethan's team, forged from Quantum AI's brightest defectors, operated with surgical efficiency, transforming the Bellevue office into a beacon of innovation. Riley Tate's neural network optimizations slashed latency by 20%, enabling real-time personalization for clients like a Portland retailer. Amir Khan's hyperparameter tuning eliminated biases, ensuring fairness in diverse markets, while Lila Chen's ethics protocols aligned with California's 2024 AI transparency laws, averting scrutiny that felled competitors like X's algorithm mishaps. Jax Rivera's deployment pipelines ran flawlessly, avoiding outages that plagued the industry during the 2022 cloud migration wave, and Maya Voss's predictive analytics anticipated Black Friday demand, positioning Nexus AI to dominate peak seasons. Daily syncs in Nexus AI's sleek office, with its panoramic views of snow-dusted Mount Rainier, crackled with ideas. Ethan fostered a culture of collaboration, whiteboarding solutions with his team, while sharing anecdotes from past triumphs, like debugging a model during the 2021 e-commerce boom. Clients raved. A San Diego fashion platform credited Nexus AI's algorithms for a 30% sales spike, avoiding errors like those in the 2019 Target recommendation flops. A Seattle startup sent a video testimonial praising unmatched reliability, a stark contrast to Quantum AI's ongoing failures. Sophia Ruiz, Nexus AI's director, called Ethan during a site visit from Portland, her voice brimming with excitement. "You've boosted revenue by 42% in 4 months," she said, standing in the office's glass-walled conference room. "We've secured a $3.5 million contract from a California chain, Quantum AI's fumble. The board's eyeing you for VP of Engineering, $175,000, stock options. Thoughts?" Ethan accepted, his sights set on scaling Nexus AI into Oregon and Nevada, where retail AI demand was soaring. Quantum AI, meanwhile, was imploding. The talent exodus Ethan orchestrated had left their systems in disarray. By November, their algorithm accuracy had plummeted to 70%, a low reminiscent of the 2020 retail AI crashes that tanked smaller firms. A major Oregon client, furious over a model recommending irrelevant products during a holiday campaign, terminated a $3 million contract, citing unacceptable errors that cost sales akin to the 2023 TikTok ad blunders. Derek Voss's replacement, Tara Klein, lasted only 9 weeks, resigning in a scathing email that lambasted chaotic leadership and zero technical support, echoing the burnout wave of the 2021 tech hiring frenzy. Her successor, a junior developer named Leo Pratt, struggled with basic ML frameworks, leading to a catastrophic outage that left a Washington retailer's checkout system down for 72 hours during Cyber Monday. Clients began fleeing, with 3 more contracts totaling $6 million placed on probation by December. Industry chatter dominated the Pacific Northwest Tech Forum at Seattle's Convention Center, where developers networked amid sleek booths and VR demos. Over craft beers with views of Elliott Bay, a vendor from San Francisco told Ethan, "Quantum AI's a sinking ship, Nexus AI's the new king." Ethan kept a neutral smile, but the validation was sweet. His team's cohesion shone. Riley led training sessions on new frameworks like PyTorch Lightning, boosting model efficiency. Amir's models adapted to regional shopping patterns, winning over a Nevada chain. Lila's ethics checks caught potential biases, saving a client from PR disasters like those in the 2024 Meta AI scandals. Jax ensured zero downtime deploys, and Maya's forecasts preempted supply chain hiccups tied to the 2023 port strikes. Nora Klein, whose false accusations of code theft had ousted Ethan, faced mounting scrutiny at Quantum AI. Internal audits, triggered by client complaints, exposed her negligence failure to flag biased datasets that violated new AI ethics regulations, a lapse that could have invited FTC fines. Colleagues, once cowed by her sharp critiques, now whispered about her incompetence in Slack channels, per a contact's text to Ethan. Victor Lang, under fire from Portland's board, deflected in memos, blaming global AI market shifts like the 2024 chip shortage escalations. But the truth was clear. His refusal to probe Nora's claims had gutted a once thriving department. His emergency meetings grew frantic, with reports of him offering paltry raises to stem defections, but morale was shattered, reminiscent of the 2022 crypto firm collapses where leadership failures eroded trust. Ethan's encounter with Victor came at the AI Innovation Summit in San Francisco's Moscone Center, where tech luminaries gathered under glowing LED displays. Ethan presented a case study on ethical AI turnarounds, citing lessons from the 2023 OpenAI regulatory battles, his slides showcasing Nexus AI's 97% accuracy and zero compliance issues. Spotting Victor in the audience haggard, his suit ill-fitting Ethan stayed focused, delivering with calm authority. Post-talk, as attendees mingled near a coffee bar overlooking the city's skyline, Victor approached, his voice low. "Ethan, I may have rushed to judgment on Nora's accusations." Ethan sipped his latte, unfazed. "The issue wasn't her lies, Victor. It was throwing out 7 years of proven code without a single audit. Your team chose better paths. What does that say about you?" Victor's face reddened, his usual deflections faltering. "You poached my entire crew," he muttered. Ethan shook his head. "I offered careers to talent you undervalued. They made their choices." The exchange lingered as Ethan returned to Seattle, driving past the vibrant murals of Fremont and the historic gaslights of Pioneer Square. At Nexus AI, his team celebrated another win, a $2.8 million contract from a Washington startup, poached after Quantum AI's model crashed during a holiday promotion, costing sales akin to the 2019 Black Friday algorithm failures. The client's CTO emailed, "Nexus AI's precision saved our season." Evenings with Taylor, Ethan's partner, grounded him. Over a cozy dinner at their Bellevue home, with the lake shimmering under moonlight, Taylor said, "You're not just beating them, you're redefining what's possible." They planned a winter escape to Whidbey Island, funded by Ethan's new salary, dreaming of beach walks and quiet nights. At Nexus AI, the team bonded over hackathons, coding new features while sharing beers, a stark contrast to Quantum AI's tense atmosphere. Industry outlets like Wired noted Nexus AI's rise, drawing parallels to Snowflake's post-breach comeback. Quantum AI faced a grim winter, with rumors of layoffs and bankruptcy swirling like Seattle's relentless drizzle, setting the stage for their final collapse. As spring 2024 bloomed across Seattle, painting the city with cherry blossoms along the University of Washington's quad and vibrant tulips in Pike Place Market, Ethan Cole's calculated strategy at Nexus AI reached its zenith. The city thrummed with tech-fervor startups unveiled AI demos at Capitol Hill's co-working spaces, developers networked at waterfront breweries, and the distant roar of seaplanes landing on Lake Union echoed the pulse of innovation. Nexus AI's recommendation algorithms, now hitting a 98% accuracy rate, had solidified its reputation as a powerhouse in e-commerce personalization, rivaling giants like Amazon during the 2024 spring sales surge. Ethan's team, a tight-knit crew of former Quantum AI stars, operated with unparalleled precision, transforming the Bellevue office into a hub of cutting-edge AI. Riley Tate's neural network optimizations reduced prediction latency to milliseconds, boosting client sales for a Portland fashion retailer. Amir Khan's models eliminated biases in diverse datasets, ensuring fairness across regional markets, while Leela Chen's ethics protocols navigated the stringent 2024 California AI Transparency Act, sidestepping legal traps that ensnared competitors like Meta in recent privacy scandals. Jax Rivera's deployment pipelines ran without a hitch, avoiding the outages that plagued the industry during the 2023 cloud service disruptions, and Maya Voss's predictive analytics preempted demand spikes for Mother's Day campaigns, positioning Nexus AI as the go-to for retail giants. Morning stand-ups in Nexus AI's glass-walled office, with views of the snow-capped Cascades, crackled with innovation. Ethan led with a blend of technical mastery and encouragement, often coding alongside his team to debug complex models, reminiscent of their all-nighters at Quantum AI during the 2021 Black Friday crunch. Clients flooded in with praise. A San Diego e-commerce platform credited Nexus AI's algorithms for a 35% revenue boost, avoiding errors like those in the 2023 Shopify recommendation glitches. A Seattle startup sent a video testimonial, lauding reliability that redefined our business. Sophia Ruiz, Nexus AI's director, pulled Ethan aside during a visit from Portland, standing in a conference room overlooking Lake Washington's sailboats. Revenue's up 50% since you joined, she said, her eyes gleaming. We've landed a $4 million contract from a Nevada chain, Quantum AI's biggest loss yet. The board's naming you VP of Engineering, $175,000 plus equity. You're building an empire. Ethan nodded, his mind already on expanding into Colorado's growing retail market, where new e-commerce hubs were emerging. Quantum AI, by contrast, was in free fall, its systems crashing like a poorly coded algorithm hitting a null pointer. By April 2024, their model accuracy had tanked to 65%, a low unseen since the 2020 retail AI failures that sank smaller startups. The flagship $4.5 million contract with a California retail giant was terminated after a catastrophic model failure recommended irrelevant products during a spring sale, costing millions in lost revenue, and drawing parallels to the 2019 Target algorithm debacle. Nexus AI swooped in, securing the contract with a flawless transition. Ethan personally oversaw the deployment, ensuring every recommendation aligned with user preferences, earning a glowing email from the client's CEO. Nexus AI saved our season. The loss was a death blow to Quantum AI's credibility, with trade publications like TechCrunch and VentureBeat running headlines about their stunning collapse in the AI personalization market. Victor Lang, Ethan's former boss, faced the wreckage of his spineless leadership. In March, Portland's board demoted him to a minor role, managing legacy systems in Boise, a humiliating fall for a man who once strutted through investor pitches, claiming Ethan's successes. Leaked emails, shared with Ethan by a sympathetic ex-colleague, revealed Victor's desperate pleas to the board, blaming unprecedented AI market shifts like the 2024 global GPU supply disruptions. But the truth was undeniable. His failure to investigate Nora Klein's false accusations of code theft had triggered a talent exodus, dismantling a once dominant department. Emergency meetings grew chaotic, with Victor offering token raises to retain staff, but the remaining coders, overworked and demoralized, were quietly job hunting, per Slack leaks sent to Ethan. Nora Klein, the instigator whose lies sparked Ethan's firing, became a casualty of her own deceit. Internal audits, intensified by Quantum AI's cascading failures, exposed her negligence. She'd failed to flag biased datasets that violated new FTC AI ethics guidelines, risking fines akin to those in the 2023 Meta privacy lawsuits. Her credibility crumbled. Colleagues, once wary of her sharp critiques, now openly scorned her in team channels, per a contact's text to Ethan. Nora's out in April. No severance. Her own bias checks failed her. The irony was poetic. The woman who accused Ethan of unethical coding was ousted for her own incompetence, a corporate reckoning reminiscent of the Enron scandal's fallout. Ethan's former team thrived at Nexus AI. Riley, now earning $165,000 as AI architect, led with confidence, mentoring junior coders in advanced frameworks like PyTorch Lightning, boosting team morale with hackathons that echoed Google's early innovation days. Amir, at $155,000, delivered models that adapted to regional trends, winning a Colorado client. Lila's ethics work, at $150,000, kept Nexus AI audit-proof, while Jax's deployments, at $145,000, ensured zero downtime. Maya, on $170,000 as data director, presented at board meetings, her forecasts shaping Nexus AI's expansion into new markets. Their success was celebrated at a team outing to a Seattle Mariners game at T-Mobile Park, where cheers and hot dogs fostered camaraderie, a stark contrast to Quantum AI's toxic atmosphere. Evenings with Taylor, Ethan's partner, grounded his triumph. Over a cozy dinner at their Bellevue home, with Lake Washington shimmering under starlight, Taylor raised a glass. You didn't just win, you rewrote the code for success. Ethan smiled, planning a spring getaway to the San Juan Islands, funded by his new wealth. It's not about their crash, it's about what we built. They walked the Burke-Gilman Trail, the scent of pine mingling with spring air, discussing their future in a city that thrived on reinvention. Industry panels at the AI Summit in Seattle's Convention Center buzzed with Nexus AI's ascent. Ethan's keynote on ethical AI scalability drew crowds, citing lessons from the 2024 OpenAI regulatory battles, with Nexus AI's metrics 98% accuracy, zero violations, setting benchmarks. Competitors peppered him with questions, and he shared principles. Empower talent, prioritize ethics, deliver results. Quantum AI's woes became a case study, with VentureBeat comparing their fall to Theranos' collapse, where hubris outpaced competence. By May, Quantum AI lost two more contracts, $5 million combined, after a faulty algorithm disrupted a Washington retailer's checkout system, prompting a switch to Nexus AI. Clients cited trust in precision, a nod to Ethan's leadership. As Seattle's spring rains gave way to clear skies, Ethan reflected on the journey. Quantum AI's collapse wasn't his goal, but a consequence of their own flaws. Victor's cowardice, Nora's deceit. Nexus AI's rise, like Seattle's rebirth after the 1889 Great Fire, proved that integrity and skill could outshine betrayal, setting the stage for a final reckoning in the AI wars. As summer 2024 enveloped Seattle in a rare stretch of blue skies and warm breezes, turning the city into a vibrant tapestry of outdoor tech meetups at Gasworks Park and bustling ferries on Puget Sound, Ethan Cole stood at the pinnacle of his resurgence at Nexus AI. The tech ecosystem hummed with energy developers coded al fresco in Fremont's cafes, startups secured funding at Pioneer Square pitches, and the distant Olympics gleamed under the sun. Nexus AI's recommendation algorithms, now boasting a 99% accuracy rate, had cemented its dominance in e-commerce AI, outperforming benchmarks set during the 2024 global retail boom. Ethan's team, a powerhouse assembled from Quantum AI's elite, drove this success, redefining personalization in ways that echoed the transformative impact of Netflix's early algorithms. Riley Tate's neural innovations reduced inference times to sub-seconds, boosting client engagement for a Portland retailer. Amir Khan's models adapted seamlessly to cultural trends, eliminating biases that plagued the 2023 social media AI scandals. Lila Chen's ethics frameworks ensured full compliance with international AI regulations, averting pitfalls like those in the 2024 EU AI Act enforcements. Jax Rivera's deployments scaled effortlessly during peak sales, sidestepping outages akin to the 2022 AWS global disruptions, while Maya Voss's predictive tools forecasted summer demand with pinpoint accuracy, securing loyalty from clients like a major Nevada chain. In Nexus AI's Bellevue headquarters, with its expansive views of Lake Washington dotted with sailboats, team dynamics flourished. Ethan cultivated an environment of trust and creativity, hosting weekly innovation sessions where ideas flowed freely, much like the collaborative spirit of Google's early days. His promotion to VP of Engineering came with a $175,000 salary and equity, allowing him to lead expansions into Colorado and Arizona, where emerging e-commerce hubs craved advanced AI. Sophia Ruiz, during a strategy meeting overlooking the water, clapped him on the back. "You've tripled our client base revenues up 60%. You're the architect of our empire." Clients echoed the sentiment. A San Diego platform lauded a 40% sales lift, free from errors like Quantum AI's past flops, while a Seattle startup featured Nexus AI in a case study, praising revolutionary reliability that prevented losses during holiday surges. Quantum AI, once a rival giant, had devolved into a cautionary relic, its collapse as inevitable as a flawed code loop spiraling into infinity. By June 2024, their algorithm accuracy languished at 60%, a nadir reminiscent of the 2019 retail AI busts that felled overhyped startups. The final blow came with the loss of their cornerstone $5 million contract from a California retail conglomerate, terminated after a model hallucinated recommendations during a summer promotion, costing millions, and drawing FTC scrutiny akin to the 2023 Meta privacy fines. Nexus AI inherited the contract, with Ethan overseeing a smooth migration that integrated seamlessly. Earning a testimonial, "Nexus AI's precision restored our trust in AI." Trade journals like Wired and Forbes ran exposés on Quantum AI's downfall, likening it to Theranos' hubris-driven crash, where ethical lapses and poor leadership eroded foundations. Victor Lang, Ethan's erstwhile supervisor, vanished into obscurity, quietly reassigned to a menial consulting gig in Idaho after Portland's board ousted him in May. Leaked board minutes, shared anonymously with Ethan via a former colleague, detailed Victor's futile defenses, blaming external AI volatility, like the 2024 chip wars, but acknowledging his failure to probe Nora Klein's accusations had sparked the exodus. Nora herself was laid off in April amid sweeping cuts, her negligence exposed in audits she'd botched bias checks, inviting violations that mirrored the 2023 OpenAI content scandals. The irony burned. The accuser of code theft was felled by her own ethical shortcuts, a corporate karma reminiscent of Enron's whistleblower reversals. Quantum AI's remnants limped on, a shell company with half its staff gone, and revenue slashed by 70%, unable to recover from the post-Ethan collapse, as industry insiders dubbed it. Ethan's team at Nexus AI soared. Riley, earning $170,000, mentored rising talents. Her frameworks adopted company-wide. Amir's models, at $160,000, won awards at the AI Summit. Lila's ethics work, $155,000, positioned Nexus AI as a leader in responsible AI, while Jax's deployments, $150,000, ensured scalability. Maya, on $180,000 as data director, headlined conferences, her forecasts shaping industry trends. They celebrated at a team retreat on Whidbey Island, hiking trails and brainstorming over campfires, a far cry from Quantum AI's toxic remnants, where morale cratered like the 2022 crypto firm meltdowns. Personal reflections with Taylor, Ethan's partner, anchored his victory. On a sunny evening stroll along the Sammamish River Trail, with cyclists passing and the scent of blooming wildflowers, Taylor squeezed his hand. You didn't destroy them, you transcended. Over dinners at their Bellevue home, lake breezes whispering through windows, they planned a European getaway, funded by Ethan's success, dreaming of coding breaks and quaint cafe. It's not revenge, Ethan mused during a picnic at Gasworks Park, the city skyline aglow. It's proof, value, integrity, and excellence reboots everything. The industry hailed Nexus AI's triumph. Ethan's keynote at the Pacific Northwest AI Conference drew crowds, sharing lessons from the 2024 regulatory waves. Empower teams, prioritize ethics, deliver unyieldingly. Competitors sought collaborations, and publications like TechCrunch profiled him as Seattle's AI Phoenix, rising from betrayal to redefine retail intelligence. Quantum AI's final gasps, a desperate acquisition attempt by a smaller firm, fizzled, their legacy a warning, akin to Kodak's digital denial. In Seattle's resilient spirit, reborn after the 1889 fire, much like its TechBoom's Post.com bust, Ethan's story became legend. Quantum AI's crash wasn't his doing, but a consequence of their flaws. Victor's cowardice, Nora's deceit. Nexus AI's empire, built on code and character, proved that true reboot came from patience and principle, inspiring a new generation in the AI frontier. As the sun set over the Sound, Ethan looked to the horizon, ready for whatever algorithms the future held.